Everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here with another Master Duel video for you all. So it is time for yet another viewer special, and this is the 20th one, 20th special. That's pretty rad. I am kind of blown away. I always say this, the series has gone on this long, and I could not have done it without you all. We could not have done it all together, I should say. So for those of you who are wondering what the viewer special is, maybe this is your first one or you're just otherwise unfamiliar with the series, what we like to do here at least once a week, or around once a week rather I should say, is we'll feature replays from you all, the viewers. That's a nice way to, I think, get everybody included on the channel. I like to be as inclusive as far as getting everyone's opinions and voices in on the channel because, you know, I think the feedback that I get from you all is really what's helped me the most, like, improve my gameplay. And I think, you know, a lot of people who are watching these videos are looking to improve gameplay, and I don't like the idea of being, like, the only one who's, like, you know, telling or like instructing, quote unquote, I guess. I talk about this all the time here on the channel. I'm a very big believer in peers educating peers, community-based learning. So we do a lot of that here on the channel, both in the comment section and then here in the viewer special as well, because yeah, I like to hear you know, the opinions that you all share in the comments there. I guess rather read them, but it's definitely different to actually get to see you all play the games out and then learn that way. Another reason I like to show off the viewers they like to do the viewer special to show off your replays here is because I believe it's very important to watch multiple people play, not just one person, multiple people. I think that's the best way to improve at any, like, especially card game, but pretty much any game in general, is to watch other people play, and more than one other person as well. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some games for you all today. If you would like to submit a game, if you're curious as to how you can do that, it's actually rather simple. If you check out my description below, you will find a link to my Twitter page, and then from there you can go ahead and click that. I have a pinned tweet right at the top of my profile where I curate these replies and gather them in order to then feature them here on the channel. That is the best way, or rather that's one of the best places to submit the replays there. I like having them all there in that one thread because it's one nice, concise location where I can go and find them all. That said, if you don't have a Twitter or if you don't want to tweet them, that's totally fine, not a problem at all. Another way you can submit the games is to go ahead and comment to this video below. The viewer special is the preferable place to, you know, drop that comment, because again, I like to have them at least a little bit organized in one place where I can find them, so I'm not overlooking anybody there. As far as what information to share in order to have your game featured, you'll want to share your 9-digit player ID that I am kind of like waving my mouse cursor over right here. And then, yeah, that should be enough for me to see your replays. And make sure that your replays are saved publicly. If they are not saved publicly, I will not be able to view them. Also, it helps a little bit if you want to include a little blurb about the game. If you want me to show a specific game, I definitely include like the timestamp and or your opponent's name. That way I know like specifically what game you want me to feature. And it also helps a little bit if you want to throw in, just like I said, a little bit of a blurb. It could even just be like, I played this deck versus this deck. But if you want to talk about a little bit about the game and how it went and what it was like, yeah, that can be very helpful as well. Even the ones they don't feature, though, I do tend to watch almost all of the ones that do get submitted. So, and if your game doesn't get featured, that's totally fine. Feel free to submit again. There is not a limit on the number of games you can submit. Now, don't spam the same game over and over again. That's kind of a surefire way not to get featured. But yeah, if you've got multiple games you want featured, feel free to submit multiple times. That is totally fine with me. That is a-okay. You can submit as much as you want, again, as long as we're not spamming. So, yeah, I think that about covers the basics of the viewer special here. Now let's take a look at some of your games. Alright, so our first game for this viewer special comes to us from Mr. K. Kyle over on Twitter submitted this one where they are playing Live Twin versus Branded Despia. We got an 8-turn game here, so I'm definitely eager to see this one. Live Twin, I need to go back to that deck, whether it's the Link Festival or not. It's been too long since I played it. I really like that deck. I think that deck is also a lot of the reason, I say also, I've talked about like Sky Strikers a lot and how I need to go back to that deck, but I think Live Twin is one of the reasons I haven't gone back to Sky Striker as much as maybe I should, because when it comes to like the de facto control deck that I like playing, it did definitely shift from Sky Striker to Live Twin once Sunny Snitch came out, so oof, looks like we're running second here, but did not open any real kind of disruption. We do have a droplet though, so we do have at least that going for us. And plenty of ammo to use with it too, between the Sunny Snitch and the Life, and just another spell card we could potentially activate as well. So yeah, it's a good thing we do at least have the droplet here. If we don't have like a disruption, we can use it on the opponent's turn, like Ash or Maxi or something like that. Let's see, just seeing what all they set up here. I thought I saw a Fairy Tale Snow get discarded there, but it looks like it's going to be a fairly typical setup from the opponent here as far as like a branded try setup with the additional, because they had the Fire package, so it'll be, looks like with the additional, looks like they made a Dragostapelia. Yeah, I tended to default to Masquerade, but I think I really should be making Dragostapelia more often when I'm doing this turn 1 setup with this deck. I've kind of underestimated Dragostapelia a little bit, I think. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, I think I've kind of underestimated Dragostapelia a little bit when it comes to just playing it in this deck, or turn 1 with Branded SPS specifically. So, Sunny Snitch got Ash. That's actually really, really good, given that we draw the Kisakeel. Kind of want to let this be a PSA to people who are playing against Live Twin. Don't Ash anything other than like the actual Live Twin monster itself. Like, it's so easy to have an Ash. I mean, even if you even if you Ash the Live Twin monster itself, it's honestly still really easy for this deck to have an out. And we have the call by for the branded. Ah, that's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's still pretty easy for this. Wow, they're using the Mirror Jade now. That's interesting. What are they banishing? Oh, I see. Interesting, okay. Using Fairy Tale Snow to dodge Call By? Wait, it doesn't dodge Call By though, does it? No, it doesn't. Wait, I'm a bit confused as to what exactly my opponent was doing, or my opponent, geez, to our opponent was doing there. Huh. Alright, well, I guess we take those. Oh, did we use our normal summon? Oh no, because we stole the Dragostapelia, that's why we can't use the... Yeah, that's why we can't use the Kisakil's effect. Gotcha. Oh, and then the opponent using Fawn of Albaz during the... Oh, but it got negated. Oh, because the Dragostapelia, duh. Oh, I see. They were just cycling for their Fight for Patchwork. Gotcha. No, I was too busy reading the Kisakeel. I wasn't really... Should have been paying more attention to what good old XF17 was doing here. Yeah, I was like, yeah, so Kisakeel, yeah, because we stole the Dragostapelia. We can summon that. Gotcha. Let's see, fusing the Albaz. Okay, and the... Oh, wow, okay, so they're going for a Guardian Chimera here, looks like. Ugh, that's rough. Oh, we have the drop with those. That's actually not rough at all. So yeah, our opponent does have a bit of a scary board in terms of just how beefy their monsters are, but in terms of, like, actually, like, what their board... Well, they also have the Dragostapelia, which is a bit of a problem. Because that's once per turn, right? That's not just once, yeah, it's once per turn, so... But we have the Live Twin home, though, so we should actually be able to play around it with relative ease. I don't know, like, super easy, but with, like, relative ease. We also got a Kisakeel Frost. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we're gonna bait out the negate with a Stapelia. Ooh, excuse me, sorry about that. Alright, summoning the Leola here, and now we have plays. Although our opponent's back row is still... Do we know what it is? I'm trying to remember if we actually know what it is. It's a little bit intimidating, but should probably be fine here. Yes, leading with the Leola. Does this target? Yeah, it does target, okay. The opponent does have the Poly Engrave, so we're not going to be able to destroy the Guardian Chimera with the Leola effect. No, they had a Call By. Was their last card? That's so sad. Oh, but the opponent misplayed with it. Good. Yeah, this is something I've noticed when playing with Evil Twin as well. Is sometimes the opponent will misplay and not realize that, like, the Evil Twin's effects are quick effects, and so they'll do something like that. So that actually ended up working out perfectly. Wow, that was perfect. That was rad. Okay, cool. Alright. Oh, and then we can use, because this effect doesn't target, right? No, so what we actually could have done if we have the Evil Twin main deck monsters, we could have actually, on our turn, I think, used Sunny Snitch's effect to bring these back, and then we could have used Sunny Snitch's effect to banish the Guardian Chimera, because that actually doesn't target. Let me click it here just to triple check that. Yeah, it just sends, so... Again, I'm not sure if we're playing the main deck Evil Twins, Kisakeel, and Leola. But if oh, okay, I think we are potentially. Yeah. So I think we could have actually done that. I think we could have done that during our last turn there and gotten a little bit of extra damage. If you wanted to, it is actually valid. Well, I guess we could have summoned a follow-up Sunny Snitch or Trouble Sunny, not Sunny Snitch, Trouble Sunny anyway, right? I mean, either way, we're definitely sitting in a perfectly good position here where we're poised to win. We're just gonna win at this point, so. Well, I mean, I guess the victory isn't guaranteed at this point, but, you know, we've got significant advantage. We've got significant disruption, so... yeah, this is a great example of how Live Twin can very easily just grind the opponent out, which is just what I like in a control deck, you know. I definitely prefer this style of control deck as opposed to, you know, playing a deck that is going to generate a bunch of floodgates and omni-negates, like, or not omni-negates, but like floodgates. Like, I'm thinking like Eldritch, you know, or even like Floowandereeze isn't necessarily like only floodgates, but I guess it is with the M-Pen there, and the barrier statue. Yeah, we like Live Twin and Sky Striker decks. We don't like Eldritch and Floowandereeze. I don't know, not that, like, I don't know. People can play those decks, that's fine. I don't begrudge anybody for playing that deck. It's just not the kind of control deck that I personally like to play. That's all there is to it, so... Yeah, very nice game there with Live Twins. Thank you very much for that submission. Yeah, we were able to grind through, like, their whole, like, main setup, which is pretty rad. Alright, let's go and take a look at the next game. Alright, next game comes to us from Traumatize, who has a game featuring Sword Soul versus Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc, aka good old Bird Up. So definitely eager to see this one. And I think you said that there was some, just reading your tweet here, yeah, some big brain plays. Oh, and particularly Sacred Summit, which is a card I keep meaning to put back in my Sword Soul Tenyi deck. I see a lot of comments suggesting it. I've been thinking about playing it a lot myself, actually, lately. It's funny, I think the last 2 times I've gone to record Sword Soul Tenyi, I keep meaning to, like, to add it, but then I just start the video, and I don't remember until, like, yeah, after I've already, like, edited the video, I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to add Sacred Summit. I need to add Desires, too. I actually wrote that down in my notebook here, so I remember to do that next time I revisit Sword Soul, but, Bird Up, I kind of, I've been thinking about revisiting Bird Up lately too, because this deck has been seeing a bit more play. I've noticed both personally on ladder and then also reflected in like Master Duel metadata and stuff like that. Just seeing Bird Up kind of make a little bit of a comeback here. I think it's the nature of this format in general, which is why it's funny, I talked about in the last metagame analysis video about how like, I see people complaining about the current format and that Branded Despia is too oppressive, but like, we've got sprites and tears coming up. Like then we'll see oppressive. This, like I mentioned before, I actually like formats like this, where even though yes, Branded Despia and Sword Soul Tenyi are like a clear step above everything else, they're not so much so that like everything else doesn't have a chance. And in fact, it's kind of like everything else versus tier 1 right now. In that way, there's a lot of decks that are viable right now that might not necessarily be in the near future here. So again, kind of like I talked about a little bit in the last metagame analysis video we did, I'm gonna kind of throw out this little like anyone who's complaining about this meta, maybe just actually enjoy it while it lasts. I remember thinking the same thing about like the Tri-Brigade Drytron meta. People were complaining a lot about that, but it's like, yeah, I think this is still slightly better than other formats we're going to see in the future, which is debatable, honestly, in hindsight, but I think is potentially the case. I liked that format a lot. I also just like Tri-Brigades a lot, so I might be a bit biased. In any case, here I think we top decks that Ecclesia is a very, very good top deck, baiting out the opponent's response here in the form of the call by. We do still have to be mindful of the negates from the Draco Future and the Apex Avian, but just looking at our hand here, I mean, this deck in general, one of its strengths is not only its consistency, but its ability to play through negates and disruptions, and this hand is definitely one that is very apt to play through both negation and disruption. Okay, so they have an Ash as well. I'm just trying to think of what we should bounce with Vishuda here. Probably the Utopic Future, right? Ideally. They'll probably Apex Avian that, yeah. I was wondering in my head if it was worth maybe beating out the Apex Avian before using the Vishuda, just so we could bounce that. Although this would have negated it anyway, right? This is a negate non-board effect. It's any monster effect? Yeah, it's any monster effect, so never mind. That actually is fine. Let's see, did we add the Long Yuan? Is that what we added with the, sorry, I should be paying more attention. I was just kind of lost in thinking about what the, like, play was there. Okay, so yeah, using the Long Yuan to beat the F-Zero negate, I see, and then we can, yeah, Sacred Summit to bring back that Taya that we pitched, and now we can make a Baxia, which is dope, and get rid of this F-Zero and this Simorgh here. Oh no, we're just gonna make Chi Xiao. It's funny, in the viewer specials I'm always like trying to predict what you guys are gonna do here, but I always end up getting pleasantly surprised, which I think I'm probably about to here as well. Wait, have we normal summoned yet? Oh, we had normal summoned yet. I hadn't realized that. I was like, yeah, we make Baxia here, right? No, I hadn't realized we had normal summoned yet. That's another thing too about this deck, like you can do so much, and then at the end of it you still realize like, oh yeah, I still have a normal summon. Alright, summon Moye. Alright, so Baxia's only be able to spin back one card here, but that's fine. The F-Zero is all we need to spin back. Like, it would be nice to spin back to some more, but we can just battle over that, or probably just end up removing it a different way. Let's see, I think we already... Did we use Sacred Summit this turn for Tai already, right? Yes, we did. Okay, I thought we did. Oh, that's right, the effect. I always forget about that effect. The effect to summon war monsters from your deck based on the attribute of whatever is destroyed. It's definitely a nice use of Chao Feng there, for sure. Yeah, I need to be more mindful of that, honestly. The opponents also used up, like, a lot of resources from their extra deck. Like, you know, their F-Zero engine is gone, their Recital Starlings are gone, their Simorgh is gone. I mean, obviously they can still... Like, the deck still has plays. I think particularly they're probably going to try to go for, like, a Zeus setup here with the Assembled Nightingale. Ah, but they won't be able to activate the Zeus effect because we have Chao Feng out. I wonder if our opponent realizes that. I don't think they do. Yeah, it doesn't look like they do, as they're going to try to go for Zeus anyway, but, yeah, not going to be able to activate Zeus's effect with this, this Chao Feng on board. Ooh, oh wait, they're going to banish the Chao Feng, looks like. Okay, alright, okay, so that would probably have plays. Although we've got a lot of plays with the Long Yuan and Sacred Summon in our hand. I don't know if I would run two myself. I'm probably just going to start with one. Oh, wow, that's a great draw. That's a fantastic draw. Yeah, forcing out the Zeus here. Or I guess one of the Zeus. We still have another activation to force out, but we can do that pretty easily here. We're just gonna start by... I don't know, I'm trying to think if I would start by normal summoning Moye or trying to activate Sacred Summon. I'd probably just summon Moye here, I think. Yeah, they can add stuff, that's fine. But yeah, no, the Sacred Summit... I remember playing, when I was last playing it, like, even the one copy would sometimes not be a great draw, but I feel like that's not generally the case. Like, I do feel like it's more often than not that this does end up being, like, you know, the correct play, so to speak. Or not the correct play, a good add to the deck is the Sacred Summit. Again, I just don't know about two copies myself. I'm just kind of debating in my head, I don't know. I guess I'm debating because I hadn't really considered it. You know, like I mentioned, one of the reasons I really like the viewer special here is, like, you know, it gets you thinking, right? Like, of two summits. It's something I hadn't really considered before. And even if it's not something a change that I personally think I want to make, it's still that's one that's worth considering. This is a lot of why I say it's really important to watch multiple people play and not just, like, one other, you know, one YouTuber, like, just not watching anybody at all. Though, of course, by nature of watching this channel, I'm assuming you're already watching some amount of gameplay. Well, I know you're watching some amount of gameplay. In any case, like I said, that's a prime example of why I think it's important to get multiple opinions, just to introduce ideas like that. I think it's just an important thing to do in general. So, yeah, thank you very much for your submission. Looks like we have time for one more. Let's go ahead and go straight into it. Alright, this last game is going to come to us from The Light 288 here. They have a game where they were playing Dragon Link versus Sword Soul. So we just had a whole bunch of, like, meta decks this time around, didn't we? I'm definitely not opposed to featuring, like, some off-meta stuff as well, but I wanted to see this deck, or this game rather in particular, because you talked on Twitter about doing, like, the fusion line of Dragon Link, which I'm not familiar with, so I wanted to check this out and see what this is all about here. Rocket Caliber. Okay, yeah, I remember almost adding this one when I was building the deck there. Okay, so starting with the Starliege Sephret there for the Black Dragon Collapser. But yeah, I need to update my... I'm gonna write that down actually, I'm thinking about it. I need to update Dragon Link with the Starliege Sephrets as well. Dragon Link... Oh yeah. I want to watch this game. Let me actually pause. This is so bad. I should not be doing this in the middle of recording. like writing this down. I mean, okay, now that we've done that, and we can actually watch this game that I said I wanted to watch there. All right, let's see here. So using the Collapse Serpent to link summon the Striker Dragon, although they have the Imperm here. Doesn't look like with our hand that's going to be like too big of a deal. Although it would have been nice to summon both these rockets in our hand. Oh, shoot. Although, yeah, I mean, we definitely still have plays. It just kind of like sucks a little bit that, you know, we're not going to be able to get the Boot Sector launch here. Alright, let's see what we get with Chaos Route. Okay, so yeah, we already have like multiple options with the... Oh, wow, this is a... Yeah, we have options for days here with the Chaos Magic Ruler, huh? Okay. I saw also the Dragon Maid's Hiding. That's another card I've definitely considered playing, is the Tiding there. I know the Dragon Maid package can potentially add a lot to the build there. That's the thing about Dragon Link, there's so many different ways to play it. That's what makes it cool. It's also kind of what makes it hard to like cover as like a YouTuber, is because it's like, you know, in particular, and again, not that I ever don't want to see like suggestions from you all, but when I see suggestions about like updates to the build for Dragon Link, I see so many different ones, because again, there's just so many different ways to play the deck that it's like, you know, can kind of be like, oh, which one do I do? But no, yeah, it's definitely a good problem to have, I think. A deck having a lot of variety in its, you know, plays and the way you can play it, not just its plays itself, but in the ways you can play and build the deck there. So I saw that we added the rapid trigger, fusion summon by destroying. Oh, that's cool. Wait a second, that's cool, because the rocket monsters are all about like destroying. Hang on, I wanted to pause. I was gonna say, I thought I clicked pause. That's so cool. I didn't know rockets had a fusion that fused them by destroying the materials. That's rad. Because rocket monsters are all about effects that, like, you know, when they get destroyed, they do stuff. That's cool. I really love just thematically. I don't know, that's one of the things I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, is how the decks can play very thematically as well as, like, mechanically. Just flavor, complete flavor wins. We love to see it. Ooh, we've actually got like a ton of link zones open with this as well. Ending on Borland plus the Heretic Seal, and then we're gonna rapid trigger, I guess, during the opponent's turn. I'm actually not familiar with the Boral fusion, like, at all. Let me see this here. Again, I'm gonna pause this real quick while I read this. Borlode Furious Dragon. Quick effect, target a monster, destroy them. Okay, so it's quick effect disruption. Dark Link special. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah. So it's like another form of disruption on top of like all the stuff we already have. Ooh, that was a good droplet from the opponent, from Illidan here. I guess we were not prepared for that droplet. No, yeah, that was a very good droplet from the opponent too. Gotta give them a quick proc. Wait, no, proc. What's the word I'm looking for? Like kudos. Giving them kudos. But sort of a P. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, opponent's going to roll some of the Taya here, but yeah, we can just use this Borlode Furious to quick effect pop the Taya, and then they're not going to be able to really do much of anything. So that's pretty rad. Oh, and then we get the Borland back. Wow, that was so gross. That was disgusting. That was disgustingly good. Wow, that was like probably the best use of that Borlode Furious Dragon, especially like turn. Well, you know, after just a turn one setup there on the opponent's turn one. That was gross. That was so good. Like the opponent had so few resources left, and then yeah, even if they had a normal or another monster they could have summoned. Yeah, we still could just negate it with a Borland. That's rad. Yeah, thank you very much for that submission. That was awesome. Alright, I think that is going to go ahead and do it for the games. Let's go ahead and move now to the outro. Alrighty, I want to thank you all very much for not only watching all the way to the very end, but as always, during the viewer specials, I have to give a huge thank you to everyone who is submitting games. The viewer specials could definitely not happen at all without your submissions there. And like I said, it's something I really like to do on the channel. It's an important segment that we do, honestly. It is important to me, just because of, I guess, the way I like operating the channel here. I do like to think of it more as our channel, not just my channel, because, one, obviously I wouldn't, be doing all this without you all anyway, in terms of, you all supporting me in terms of watching and subscribing and commenting and all that stuff, but also just, as far as improving my gameplay, I personally would not be the duelist I am without like your feedback. So just wanted to again just make sure that I was affording everyone the opportunity to be properly represented here on the channel. So thank you all very much for your submissions and helping to allow us to feature like everyone here. So yeah, I don't know, I just can feel myself rambling, which usually means it's a good time to end the video there. So yeah, comments, so like I said, if you want us to make games, feel more than free to do so. I will be more than glad to take a look at them. Whether you could do that you can do that either in the comments below or in the tweet that I have pinned at the top of my Twitter profile, link in the description there. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. So without further ado, this is Xlex signing out, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.